You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk. Greetings, greetings, greetings. My visionary dreamers. I can't even hold a note. How y'all doing today? It seems like I just miss y'all. It's been so long since we've talked. In case you're just tuning in, I hope that I had something click, so I hope you hear me well. But in case you're just tuning in, this is Adionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, saving you from yourself, just drowning in just some bull-ish. And this is Chronicles of Living podcast show. And this is a show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. I keeps it simple, but I'm straight up. I'm real. I'm probably as real as they come. I'm very transparent, and I'm doing this podcast because this is one of my dreams. You know, that I've started back. You know how it goes. And my assignment and my purpose in life is just to encourage everybody else out there to live out their dreams, live out their visions, whatever it may be. As I say. In every show, I try to anyway, dreams and visions is not just for people that have art talent, an artist, a singer, or anything of that nature. Dreams and visions are just everybody. You might have a goal or a vision to be the best mother there is, the best father there is, the best husband, wife, whatever, the best son, daughter there is. Your dream can be anything. Your vision can be anything. It's not just about talents and gifts and things of that nature. But what you got to realize is this. Whatever you're good at is a talent and a gift. If you organize the place well, you clean good. Everybody don't clean. Now, we all know that. Everybody don't clean up behind themselves. And I'm learning that here. But I'm just here to encourage you. I'm here to motivate you and get you to do the damn thing. That's basically it. So without further ado, today's topic is life and death is in the power of the tongue. And this topic came about earlier on in the week. And I know I talk a lot about this, but I think I need to get real. I want to apologize to some folks for last week. Nobody complained about it, but I listened back. I was like, maybe I might have got too deep on something, and I went off the edge on some things. But basically, the bottom line, what I was just trying to say is that fear nothing. You fear nothing, and that's not what we're here to do. You fear nothing. And that's what I want to say, basically, to wrap that last show up. So anyway, I decided to, look up the Bible verses on that meaning, because, that is in not just the Bible, but a lot of other different religious books. I'm not a religious person. Everybody should know that by now. I am a spiritual person. And the difference is religious people basically are very judgmental. And so you need to really know the difference between religious and spiritual. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in a higher being. I believe that we are all spirits put in this costume, in this body, and we are all here on assignment and the purpose to uplift the vibration of the earth, uplift people, uplift everybody, and to live in harmony. That's what I believe. So this is why I can get along with any and everybody, any nationality, any ethnic background, anybody from whatever religious group. That's who I am. So when I read you different stuff, because I read something from the Gita a couple of weeks ago. So just to show you, I'm versatile because I want to be able to relate to everybody out there. And I want everybody to be able to get something out of this podcast show. So what I found, I took 3 different, because, they have so many different types of Bibles out there. So I decided, okay, let me just get 3. So these are 3 different ways it's said. And it's from Proverbs 18:21 in all the different versions. And one of them says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Another one is, they're all similar, but just different ways. The tongue has power of life and death, and those who love to talk will have to eat their own words. And then the last one says, what you say can preserve life or destroy it. So you must accept the consequences of your words. So let's start the night off with that. So I'm sure y'all understood what I said. And like I said, this show is not for y'all, just for y'all. It's for me too. I mean, I'm working on myself as well. So that's why I think these topics come up, because I'm growing as I go as well, And a lot of people, they get into the whole, I can't, maybe, I teach my kids, I don't want to hear you say I can't. You cannot say if. You cannot say maybe. Because all of those words, you done already shot it out the door. You already, before it even got started, you already, it's done. Because now those are words of doubt. Really, that's what they are. They're words of doubt. And a lot of times, when I say this to people, they be like, well, I really can't. I'm like, okay, you don't get it. I don't use those words. And if I slip up, I go back and I say it all over again. Because once you say I can't, this is what we got to understand. You got your subconscious and then you got your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is a part of your mind which you're not fully aware of. But it influences your actions and your feelings. That's your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind, you're aware of. And you respond to your surroundings, you're awake, you have knowledge of something. That's the difference. And so just let me break it down a little bit more. Okay, so the subconscious mind, that part of you is the deep, embedded, rooted things that you've been through in life. The things that from birth was said around you, said to you, that's just like, our brains are like a memory chip. So all the things that you heard while you couldn't even talk as a baby, while you was growing up, if somebody called you stupid, if somebody called you ignorant, but then if somebody, like, I remember when my granddaughter was born and my daughter came to live with me, I used to always say, hey, pretty girl. I used to pick her up and look her in her face and say, hey, pretty girl. And trust me, she swears she's a diva right about now. But I instilled that in her very young, not just to say pretty girl, but just so she could know as a young lady to value herself. And so I know those seeds are planted in her, and she's not going to go for no bull crap, because my daughter already says she's a trip, and I know she a trip, but it's all good. Just like, my daughter, my son, I always, tell them you're intelligent. These are things of your subconscious mind. So that way, the things that if you were bullied in school or if anything happened, anybody tried to tell you different, what you heard more of is going to override what you heard less of, So even if all your life you've been told, called these words and called out your name and everything like that, if nobody else is speaking in your life, nobody else is speaking good words in your life, then that's when you're old enough to know, that's when you need to take it in your own hands and start speaking words of value to yourself. And y'all know I'm big on that mirror. You got to go in that mirror. You got to look yourself in the face, and you got to start reversing what you've been hearing all your life if it's been bad. If it's been good, then you just continue to say that to yourself. Like, before I start this podcast show, I always pray. I always thank God for this platform. I always ask that I don't speak, but my spirit speak to you. Because me, I'm just a shell. I'm just, but I just ask that God speaks through my spirit to you, and that I speak words of value to you that can plant some seeds to maybe one day be rooted and encourage you and motivate you to believe more in yourself and not look at, oh, this person can do this because of this and that person. No, I get a lot of people that tell me, oh, well, Adionne, Liv, whichever name they call me, you're different. You know what I mean? You can just do that. It's easy for you. No, it's not. No, the difference is this. First of all, there is no difference, because the bottom line, I told y'all stories, was I think the last show or the show before, about all these people with disabilities that still did the damn thing. We are all born with 24 hours in a day. I don't get 30. You know what I mean? I don't get 40. I get the same time as you. So the bottom line is this. You have to decide for yourself that you want your life to be better and different than it was last year, than it was 5 years ago. You got to start talking to yourself and saying, yo, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still, I still got the same bad habits. I'm still around the same folk that is not serving me, is not for my benefit. You know what I mean? That's not encouraging me to grow. They're still talking the same way. They're still, talking about the same things that they were talking about years ago. So I'm still sitting here stagnant in the same place. You got to start recognizing and being real with yourself. You know what I mean? And letting go of folk. It's hard, but when you do it, you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your spirit. You're doing this for your family. You know what I mean? And sometimes it can be family. But yes, we don't, as they say, we could pick our friends but can't pick our family. But what you can do is you can set a different tone for your family. That's what you can do. You can set a different tone. If you got family members that's just on some chaotic stuff, then you got to step away for a little bit. You got to step away. If they old enough to take care of themselves, if they your kids, they old enough, tough love is the best love. I'm here to tell you. When you keep giving in and they not respecting you and they talking to you all kind of crazy ways, that's on you. That's your bad that they keep continuing to talk to you that way because you're accepting it. My kids know I don't play. Okay, you want to talk greasy to me? Guess what? You gonna feel it. You're going to feel it. Okay, I ain't gonna say much. You just ain't gonna hear nothing from me. And that's just because we're handicapping each other when we do that. When we keep accepting people talking to us and speaking words in our ears that we know is not of value, we're hurting ourselves. We're hurting ourselves. And sometimes you can be like, well, they can't help it. No, everybody can help it. Everybody can help what they say out their mouth. But you have to be strong enough and disciplined enough to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm worth more than this. I don't deserve this, and then you got to recognize this. Like I always say, people act and talk the way they feel. They come at you with what they're going through. Everybody has their own issues, and it's not for you to take on. You know what I mean? So it's just like on the flip side of things, when you decide that you want to talk to somebody, you need to watch your words too. And you need to know, like, sit and think for a minute before you say anything. Like, hold up. I know this is what I want to say, but if this person said this to me, how would I feel? Would I even want to mess with them anymore? Because sometimes we can be mad at people and we can say some stuff, and one thing I know is this, is that a lot of times you can forgive, but you can't forget. I forgive everybody, but trust me, I didn't forget. I didn't forget some of the things that were said to me. You know what I mean? I forgive, yes. And I really don't act I'm not going to say I act any difference, because I understand. I understand that everybody comes with their own issues. Everybody works out their own life and their own timing. And once you get to that understanding, then words won't affect you as much. You won't eat the words as much. You won't, let's say this, you won't swallow those words as much. You'll just let them say what they got to say and just let it go. You know what I mean? But it's just like this. People, just like I said, everybody has 24 hours in a day. We all make our own decisions on what we want to do with it. I don't care what you got going on in your life. You know, like I said, my daughter, she got 2 small kids. She's in school and she's working full time. She's young. She could be out partying. She could be, and she goes out, whatever. But the bottom line is she put up her priorities in order. You know what I mean? Same with me. I work full time. And even though I carry my other license, I kind of fell back on those jobs because of the fact that I want to really focus. I want to focus on this podcast, on the blog and stuff like that. So really, it's almost like I'm working 3 jobs, because what people fail to realize is this. I said, I'm going to do this podcast. I'm going to do this blog. I said this back in June. I checked the first live video that was like June 8th. I said I was going to do this, and this go around, I was not going to stop. I wasn't going to worry. I was going to work around whatever the issues came along. I was going to work around it. I was going to be consistent. I said it and I wrote it. And that's the thing. You got to say it and you got to write it. That way, when you write it and things come, those words, just like the words that you speak out your mouth, which you write down on a paper, it still exists. That's why in the Bible it says, write the word and make it plain. Write the vision, make it plain. Y'all know I be messing up some verses sometimes, but y'all know what I mean. So it's so true. I told y'all I keep journals. I can go back for years and years, and I can say like, oh, wow, I really did that. And I finished that, and I did this, and wow, you know what I'm saying? And everything wasn't about the things that I wrote down in my journals wasn't about money or getting money. It was just about goals that I wanted to set and I wanted to meet. And I wrote it down, and sometimes I just left it like, okay, this is not the time. I'm just going to go when I get that feeling. I know it's time. Just like I was saying in one of my podcasts, like this, everyday people, everyday things. I wrote this down back in, I think it was either 05, my 05 book or 07 book. One or the other, I got to go look back. But I wrote this down that almost 10 years ago. Well, 10 years ago at least. And now I'm just coming to it. And the thing about it is I didn't even read it, but my subconscious, this is what I'm saying about your subconscious. My subconscious brought the same exact title to my memory, just brought it up. And when I was doing the intro, it just came out that way. And I didn't even realize that was what I was going to base it on, that I wrote it down that many years ago, until one day it just popped in my head, and I was looking through my journal. I was like, oh my gosh, I said this. I said I wanted to do this 10 years ago. And I'm not saying that your dreams and your visions is going to take 10 years. I have things that I wrote down and I said or whatever that I wanted to do that took a week or whatever. I mean, you look at this whole process right here. I said in June I was going to start this process, and I started off with that 30-day live taping on one of my Facebook pages. I did the 30 days, whether it was 2 o'clock in the morning, it didn't matter. Whether I was just talking to the Facebook page, I didn't care. I was challenging myself. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't worried about numbers. I wasn't worried about who was looking. I wasn't worried about that. This was something for myself. And this is the thing that people do. They say, oh, I can't do this. Oh, nobody's going to, support me. Oh, all of this stuff. I'm doing all of this by myself. This is work by the grace of God. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for, even though I did a whole lot of self-learning myself, I did along the way have a couple friends that might have taught me. I remember one of my boys, and y'all know I don't say names because people be thinking, oh, you talking about me? I don't know. I don't want to do that. But one of my boys, if he's listening, he'll know who I am. I mean, he'll know who he is. I can remember back when I was first doing my other big website stuff, And I wanted to learn how to do graphics and postcards and stuff. And so he came into, I said, this is what I wanted to do. Again, my words, speaking life, I said, this is what I want to do. You're good at this. Can you show me? He came in through the computer, because you can do that now, and took control of my computer. 15 minutes showed me the basics of how to work Photoshop. And then I think maybe a couple of days later, I sent him the first postcard I made. And he was like, whoa, wait a minute. What? How you do that? Like, I just came in your computer for 15 minutes. But see, that was because I believed my words. I didn't look at the fact that I don't have no background in this. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't say that. I didn't say I can't do this because I didn't go to school for this. I don't have no background. I just believed in my heart. And I said, this is something that I want to do. This is something I want to accomplish. I want to learn how to mess with the graphics part. I want to learn how to put, promo postcards and all that stuff together. I want to learn this stuff, And years ago, when I was in entertainment, I watched it, but I never really did it myself. I just told them what I wanted. You know what I mean? I knew vision-wise what I wanted, but I didn't do it physically. Now, just like earlier, you might see my new little cover, my little cartoon character. I love it. But I decided that, okay, I'm getting a lot of good response, so it's time to step it up. So this is why I was taking the website so long, because I got to do my logo, I got to do all of this stuff, and it's really technical and time consuming. But I'm going to tell y'all this. The blog, and I'm speaking my words of life, the blog will be back up by Wednesday. I'm just doing some testing right now. So I'm speaking my words, so now y'all can check on Wednesday, when I come back on Wednesday, if my words came to life. So that's going to be my little challenge to myself, and so y'all can see what I say. So when you talk and you make excuses. So I looked up excuses. Let me see what the meaning of excuses is. I mean, we all know what excuse is, but let me see it broken down. So I found this one definition, and I was like, oh, wow. And it said, excuses, they are tools of incompetence used to build monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom. Okay, y'all know I had some speech classes. Accomplish anything. Y'all get what I'm saying? So people, this is why if y'all listen to my shows, I always say excuses are whack. They're whack. They're whack. They're whack. I don't care what you got going on in your life. I can always show you somebody that went through something worse than you, and that decided and made up in their mind that they were going to do the damn thing by any means necessary. And this is what I'm saying about can't and excuses and, oh, this came up and that came up. No, if you want something, you're going to make it work. You're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen. I mean, all the times that I moved, all the jobs that I had, and like I said, I've been blessed. This is not because I'm any different. I'm not any different from you. The difference is this: I set my mind and I say I'm going to do a thing, and I stick to my word. And if that thing don't work out the way I planned it to work out, I analyze it and say, okay, obviously this wasn't supposed to work out this way. So what is it that I need to do? I'll pray about it, and I'll figure it out. Like, oh, okay, that's why that didn't happen, or that's why I didn't get that job because I needed to get this job, or this why I didn't get that place, or whatever. Like, quick story. One of the times that I moved, and I had went and met with the realtor and everything, and I was going to get this little townhouse for me and my son, and everything was planned out. Everything was good. It was during the holiday time. It was like during New Year's or whatever. And I couldn't make it up there before New Year's Eve. So it was New Year's Eve when I made it to meet. As I was driving from Philadelphia to Georgia. And as I was driving, I'm calling to make sure that, our little time was set to meet. Come to find out, long story short, how about they rented out my spot? Didn't tell me, money, how that goes. Somebody, I guess, was already in town, whatever, however it went, but didn't even tell me. And it was New Year's Eve. I'm already on my way from Philadelphia to Georgia. Okay. So now I'm thinking, y'all know I got some stories. Y'all gonna know about all my moves, so y'all can laugh about it. But this is what I mean about believing in your word and speaking life. So I didn't get upset. I was just like, okay. Now in my mind, I'm like, all right. My son young, so I think he was going into the 9th grade. Yeah, he was going to the 9th grade. So I'm still driving. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and I'm going to find a place. I have to find a place today, you know. I go down there. I start going to other apartment complexes or whatever like that. And everybody was pretty much shut down because it was New Year's Eve. So I started driving around looking for signs for rent or whatever like that. So long story short, I came up on this, was a quad townhouses or whatever like that. Saw a sign outside and said for rent. But there was a lot of you could tell they just kind of cleaned out whoever must have just moved, because it was like a lot of kind of trash on the lawn and stuff like that. So I called the number. And again, I'm believing that what I say to this woman is going down. I'm just believing. So called her up. It was an Asian lady. And she was like, well, we didn't even get a chance to clean it. And I was like, okay, well, listen, how about this? How about it's okay? How about this? I done negotiated a whole deal. I'm like, listen, I'll clean up the place. You give me a discount on the move-in price. Anybody know me, they know I would negotiate some stuff. So she was like, really? I was like, yes. I was like, where can we meet or whatever like that? So she had her and her husband had this restaurant, this like buffet restaurant. Met her there. All this in the same day on New Year's Eve. Okay. So I'm believing in what I'm believing in myself. I'm believing in God. I said I was going to move today. I'm believing this. I go there, we talk and everything. And you know, I always got my license to fall back on as far as a job or whatever. So long story short, did the application right there, took my money, gave him my key, and I went in. Me and my son, we cleaned the place. And that night, it was raining. It was New Year's Eve night. I'll never forget it. We moved the stuff out the truck. One of my friends came that I already knew in Georgia, came and helped. But we moved everything in that same night. While in the middle of everybody saying Happy New Year's, we moving in. But I believed in my heart. Like I knew, I set the tone. I went down and I found the place. And even though somebody told me their words on that phone could have affected me, that could have been the death for me. That person telling me, oh, well, it's already rented out. I had a choice. I had a decision to fold. I had a decision to say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm in the middle of driving from Philadelphia to Atlanta. I could have just took them words and just been like, and a lot of people would have. A lot of people would have lost it. Like, oh my gosh, I got to go back. You know, that is not me. There's no difference. The difference is I believe. I believe what I say out my mouth. That's the difference. When you start believing what you say out of your mouth, watch how stuff start turning around for you. Watch. I mean, what is it that you're saying to yourself? When people say something to you or say, well, I don't want to go, I'm too fat, or I'm stupid, or I'm, who told you that? Who told you that? Obviously, that's something that's in your subconscious that told you that you're stupid, you're fat, you're broke. A lot of people say, I'm broke. I'm broke. Are you broke? Really? Are you broke? Nah, I choose to say, well, right now I just have insufficient funds. It's on its way, though. When you change your words, you change your life. I'm trying to tell y'all. And I'm not sitting up here saying, like, I'm not right this minute. No, I am abundant. I am. My abundance just didn't, all of it just didn't come to my bank account right now. And that's the difference of what I'm saying about your words. You can say that. You really can say that. You can say, I don't care if you got a penny or a zero. I don't care if your bank account is on overdraft, a couple $100. You can still start saying this stuff and feed your self-conscious. I'm abundant. Oh, God, thank you so much. That money is coming to me every day, every way. Anyway, you know what I mean? I had some money hit my account. It was like $400 and something hit my account when my son came down. I think it was last month. And he came down when I really didn't have it going on like that. And I was like, oh man, God, I want us to have a good time or whatever like that. And that night that he came down, I got an email about some money about to hit my account. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I forgot about this, And I'm like, and it hit my account that next day. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can do something to this and that and the other. And I'm like, this is what I'm saying about you got your angels. You got angels all around. Some people don't believe in angels. I truly do believe in angels. I believe that God has assigned different angels to us to help us throughout. I just believe that you got to believe it in your heart and you got to start asking. You got to start asking for that help. Not in a needy way. Not in a, oh my gosh, I need it. No, like, listen, can I get a little assistance here? This is just how I talk to God. People be laughing like when I tell them, like, listen, God, this is just not working right now. I'm going to need you to, as it says in the word, it says, you talk to him, come as you are, talk to him as you are. Ain't no whole, oh, thou art, though. Come on. That's not how you talk. Is that how you really talk? Talk the way you talk, just the way you talk to anybody else. And trust me, watch. Stuff will start happening for you. And you'll be like, oh, wow. As I was working on the website, this one was a real tough one because I decided I wanted to really do something different or whatever. And so technically I was like challenged in the beginning. I really was. But I look at it today and I'm like, wow, look how far I came. And all I did was back in 2009 said I wanted to build websites. 2009. It is 2017. I can't even count how many websites I built. Between myself, between all the different people that I might have consulted, or I don't even know how many websites I built. But I said it. I said this is what I want to do. Not want. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do. Because even want can it's like a delayed type of thing. You know what I mean? And some people can look at their backgrounds and be like, oh, well, I got a record and I got this and any other. Well, I'm here to tell you, you think about, again, the Bible. Maybe because it's Sunday, I'm just talking about the Bible. I don't know. But again, in the Bible, majority of the people that went to jail. Jesus, everybody went to jail. Joseph, everybody, Paul, writing from jail, writing the Bible from the jail cell. And then I have friends that I know did some time, One wrote a book. He got his good T-shirt business on, off the ground right now. I can remember one of my cousins. He did like 8 years, and he was saying how when he came out, because of his record, people didn't want to hire him. But what he decided to do was he went on Craigslist. He got a pickup truck, and he started collecting junk. Like when you throw your furniture out and do all of this stuff, he said he's making like $4,000 a week. $4,000 a week, not a month, a week. Just picking up people's junk, and then going to wherever he did. I don't know if he resold it to whatever he did, but he was making his money. It was legit. He decided, like, I'm not going to let what everybody else says was fed into my subconscious that when you have a record, you can't do nothing. That's it. It's over. No. You can do whatever you want to do. I got another friend that came straight out of jail and went and got like I think it was like maybe 6 certifications. All these different certifications of city type of jobs, and wound up getting a great job straight out of jail. And I'm like, it's people out here that don't want to get one certification, that don't want to take the time to get one. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. What you say is what you have. What you say is what you have. What you say is what you have. If you always talking about somebody and you talking about their downfalls and all this stuff, when you start falling, you need to remember that conversation that you had with Becky Lee, and you was talking about Susan. and talking about the fact that her husband left her and she don't have no money, and now all of a sudden your husband acting crazy. This is what I'm saying. Your words is life and death. You got to watch your words. Then you got law of attraction when you're dealing with your words. So law of attraction, that's, you really believing and you're focusing. So whether it's positive or negative, if you thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm broke, what I'm going to do, I can't pay my bills, I can't, guess what? If you keep saying that, that's what's going to go down. That's what's going to go down. No type of miracle is going to come your way. Nobody's going to come across your path that can offer you a better opportunity because your mindset is set. You're focused on, I'm just drowning here. You're focused on that. That's what you're saying out your mouth. Words have power, y'all. Speak it, write it. Speak it, write it. Speak it, write it. I say things 3 times because they say when you repeat something 3 times, that helps to get in your subconscious better. You know what I mean? So always when you feeling down and you just like feeling like, oh gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? You have to reverse your talk. You have to reverse what is playing in your head. They say they take a statistics on young boys at the age of 7 to see how many are going to be locked up. This is like a repeat thing. And I know that's not words, but it really is words because it's like this is what they're speaking. They're speaking that, okay, by the age of 7, depending on how these kids are, if they're horrible in school, okay, they're going to wind up being in jail. They're speaking words into the kids' lives. You know what I mean? And we got to be so careful, and we got to learn that when we see these kids out here growing up and being bad, just pull their coattail and speak some life into them. You never know what it would do. I talked to y'all about the foster kids I had, and they came in my house fighting, and oh my gosh, they was horrible. Oh my gosh. In the beginning, it was rough. I was like, but I will not be defeated. They're going to learn today. That's how I was. And I stuck. And I just started speaking words and life into them. Every day, I started speaking like, yo, y'all brothers, what's up? Do y'all know what the word respect mean? Do y'all know, And then I had to figure them out. I had to learn, like, okay, what is it that they like? Okay, I'm going to have to bribe them. So they like their little superheroes and all that stuff. So I had to, they like Chuck E. Cheese and all that stuff. So I had to teach them through using stuff. And I know, that's not good. I don't want you to be trying to give your kids materialistic things. No, but this is stuff that they never had in their life. You know what I mean? So I set goals for them. I had a straight board, what you call, not a whiteboard, but the little cardboards. And even though they were all so tough and everything like that, I put a little star board and I put on there, clean your room, be good on the bus, or if you was good in school, and every day I put my star. I was consistent with them, and I put the stars on there, and they were like mad at each other if one got more stars than the other. And I spoke words to them like, oh, good job, good, And then after a while, and only had them for like 3 months, after a while, I started seeing the change. I started seeing, like I kept telling them, look, y'all smart. What's going on? What's up with the homework? No, you too smart for this. Like I started speaking words of just power into their lives. And see, we try to write people off, and we try to judge people, but we don't know their backgrounds. We don't know why they act the way they act. So before you judge somebody, find out, why don't you just pull them to a conversation and just say, yo, how you feeling today? Y'all know I'm big on that. How you feel today? What's going on? And you'd be surprised how people will open up to you when you come from a genuine heart. I can remember one time, one of my I hate to say ex, but one of my exes, I guess I say, I can remember being at one of the parties, house parties or whatever like that. And there was this lady there, and she had cut herself by mistake in the kitchen. And so I didn't know this lady, but I was trying to help her out. And I was just like, oh, just trying to help her out. And he said to me, he was like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to help her out? Like, you don't even know her. Like, you just, like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, he came off to me as if, like, I was trying to help the lady out so she could like me. First of all, I don't even know this lady. But when you kind to somebody, you be surprised how it comes back to you. You be surprised. Like, that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to help strangers. We supposed to speak into strangers' lives. And we're supposed to, because you just never know what that one sentence did for somebody. You just don't know what they're going through. You don't know how just one word, like, it's times I see people on Facebook, they take their little picture and I'll be like, beautiful. Just one word, beautiful. Gorgeous. Like, you don't know how that person could have been told all their lives they're ugly. You don't know how that one word might have turned it all around for them, just even if it was for that one day. But if they hear it more and more and more, then they'll start believing that they're beautiful. It's just karma. Karma is something that's going to always come back to you. We take for granted that karma really exists. And I do believe in that, the fact that we might just be reincarnated. We might come back, And what do you want to, like, if you drop dead today, what's the words you want to leave the world? Did you just cuss somebody out? Was you just talking about somebody like a dog? What are you leaving? What is your legacy? How are people going to remember you? That's what you got to think about. Choose your words wisely, because you never know how it's going to affect somebody. Speak life into people. Speak life into people. And guess what? Life will come back to you. Because the karma, it don't even hurt. It don't just hurt us. It can hurt generations. If you leave here and you leave this earth and all you did was speak words of death out your mouth to people, what you think is happening? That's what your family hear. That's what your children hear. So what are they going to do? They're going to repeat the cycle. And it's what I'm saying is what you do today is going to affect generations to come. And we don't think like that. We think I'm an individual. Nobody won't have to follow me. This and that and the other. This is what we think. But no, everybody's watching. Everybody's listening. And nobody, I'm not saying this to blame. You don't blame nobody, because we're all responsible for our own actions. All of us. We're responsible for our own actions. When we're old enough to understand, we're responsible. We're responsible for our own actions, and it's going to come back to us. And I truly believe this is why I'm blessed, because this is what I do. This is how I've always been. I've always spoke life just naturally. Some people might have thought like, oh, I'm trying to be everybody's friend, whatever. I don't know, but this is who I am. And the sad part is when people think that way, that's sad, because this is how we supposed to be. This is what each type of religious book tries to teach us, that we need to love and be kind to one another, say kind things to one another. You need to make up with whoever you're mad at. Forgive, even if you can't, if they did something real horrible, said some real bad stuff to you, you still got to release it in your heart. I don't care if you got to look in the mirror and say, look, I forgive you today. Bob, I forgive you. I forgive you for calling me out my name. I forgive. You got to let that stuff go. You got to let it go and keep saying it until you feel a release, till you feel that burden lift off of your shoulder. You got to let it go, because that stuff is heavy when you hold all of that stuff in, what somebody said to you, what somebody did to you. I'm trying to tell you, you can't grow. You're not going to grow. And then you're going to have to repeat, and you're going to meet the same type of people that's going to talk to you in the same type of way, because you didn't release that. That's how it goes. That's how karma goes. What you dish out is what you won't get back. You know what I mean? Just like I was talking on one of the podcasts, and I'm about to end this, but I was talking on one of the podcasts about how when I was managing one of the properties, I was sales manager at one of the properties, and property manager, even though I was doing her job too, but how she tried to forge my name and get people bad records or whatever like that. When I found out, I could have just, went off on her, but my words, I chose to talk to her. I chose to step to her and talk to her in a kind way and just give her a chance, like the renege, to clean up her own mess. But then when she didn't, of course, I had to, go to the higher people. And then her relationship, because she was there before me, I got fired. But see, I chose to talk to her first. I chose to come to her so that I won't have no karma on me for what she was doing to me. I wasn't going to mix bad with bad, but you know what happened after that? I don't think I said what happened after that. Around about 3-6 months later, within that time frame, they wound up firing her because the sales dropped by 30% when I left. So they found out the truth. They found out who really was running stuff. It dropped. And she wound up getting fired. This girl just brought a Hummer Jeep, all of this stuff. She just brought. Then I found out that her doggone husband kicked her out the house and brought all her stuff to the office and dropped it off in boxes. This is what I'm saying about karma. When you do people dirty, that stuff come back to you. And then they had a nerve to try to call me up and try to give me her position and trying to offer me more money. No, I'm good because karma. Okay, y'all didn't want to listen to me when I called the meeting. I did things in the right way. Y'all wanted to take her word over my word because of some relationships that she had with some of the other people in the organization, instead of really investigating who's really doing what. So this is what I'm saying. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about what people say to you. You don't have to worry about what people do to you, because I'm here to tell you, I have seen all the people, not all the people, but majority of the people that did me wrong or did something or said something wrong or lied or whatever like that. I've heard about it, or I've seen the fact that, okay, they kind of in a jacked up situation. So I'm not saying I don't wish no bad on nobody. Never do. I always just walk away from a situation and let God handle it. And that's what we need to do. But I'm just going to leave y'all with this. Remember, your words have power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Be careful what you say. Be careful how you talk about folk. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Because it's going to come back to you in some type of way. And if it don't hit you, it's going to hit your kids. It will hit your kids. This is why I used to pray over my son, because I didn't want no stuff coming back from his dad's side or what he did, and from my past. I used to pray over him. Please, Lord, just break everything, every cycle, give him a clean slate, all of that. I pray about my daughter. I pray about all my kids. Give them clean slates. Clean slates, no generational curses over their life. And that's what y'all need to do. Pray over y'all kids. Get rid of that junk that's old, that might be holding them or whatever like that. And that could be the reason why some of your kids is acting all kind of crazy, because of some generational stuff that maybe you might not have done, but maybe somebody in your other parts of your family might have done. So I'm going to leave y'all. This is the longest I went. I try to go 45 minutes, but so I won't bore y'all. But I'm going to leave y'all with this little verse. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I said it slow so it can really get in y'all spirit. And I just want, like I said, this podcast show is just encouragement, motivation. I want everybody to live out their dreams, their visions, and do the damn thing. So this is Adionne, Chronicles of Living, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from the world, saving you from yourself. Y'all can catch me on iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher. Just look at the little logos on the page. Look what God did, because I spoke a thing and I said I was going to do it. 5 months later, podcast, blog, well, it'll be back up on Wednesday. But I'm just saying all that to say, I didn't worry about things. I said it, I wrote it, and I'm doing it. And now I'm seeing the fruits from it. And it's just growing more and more. So go out there, y'all. Do the damn thing. I love you. Peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chronicles-of-livin-podcast. Until next time, this is Adionne, your dream pusher. I love you guys.